Hi, I'm Alexa, and today we are going to talk about Everton's 25-26 season and the start to it. So we are 2 Premier League games and today Carabo Cup game in, and let's jump in, shall we? I wasn't able to watch Leeds games. I was stuck in meetings. I am 6 hours behind England. It kind of sucks that games end up being weekday games end up being either at like 1:30, 2 or 2:30, depending on if they fall within, I think it's the fall back period. We don't change our clocks at the same time as England, so there's a period where I'm only 5 hours behind. And then if it's a 7:30 or an 8 o'clock game, it'll change what time it is here. But yeah, no, I was in meetings for more than 2 hours. It was a full afternoon. But my dad watched it. A lifelong diehard Red. And basically he said no real attempts at goal, maybe one. Grealish was quiet, didn't take anyone on. Thought the penalty was harsh and behind his back, deflected. It did hit his arm though. Doubt Leeds complained. I feel like after I was off and I was able to watch some of the highlights and some of the content, I feel like that's pretty much all we can say about the Leeds game. Quiet, not really what we wanted to do. Leeds obviously has a fire under their behinds, having come up into the Premier League this season. I have a little bit of a soft spot for Leeds. You know, when I had friends, obviously. How to explain it? When the internet kind of took off and there was the start of like message boards and stuff, I was on one and I made friends with people all over the world, various teams, and there's a couple that support Leeds. And one of my visits to England, one of these people actually took me to a Leeds game. It wasn't an Everton game. Everton wasn't playing that day, I don't think. They weren't in the Premier League. They weren't even close to the Premier League at the time. This was a long time ago. And I've always kind of looked at teams like Leeds and some of the other ones that really are just doing what they can. Like, they go out there and they work hard and they do the best they can and they give it all they've got. And I feel like that reminds me of a team, right? That's what we like to see. Obviously, when we play them, I don't want to lose. I want to win. But the controversy, the handball, technically, by the letter of the law, it hit his arm, right? The rule right now is ridiculous. He was moving his arm away from the ball, trying to get it behind him. If he'd had like one more second as he moved in front of where the ball was coming, it would have hit here versus his arm. Like, he wasn't trying to hit it with his arm. There was zero intent. It sucks. It sucks as an Everton fan. If it had been the other way around and it had been overturned, that would have sucked too, right? So I think right now it's a wait and see how the rest of the season plays out. We know as Everton fans that Everton always seems to be the one that gets the short end of the stick on calls. So I'm fully expecting essentially the same situation to happen with reverses rolled, where another team's player has the same thing happen and the referee that day say it's not a penalty and we don't get it. I'm fully expecting that to happen. And if it does, I will be out here complaining. Like, if you're going to follow the letter of the law, you have to follow it in every single game, including like giving us the penalty. So I get it. It sucks. Then, gosh, I didn't write down who we played in the second game. And this is the thing. I don't really care who our opponents are most of the time. I only care about Everton. But I wrote a few notes from our second game. In the first goal was really nice, fast from play. I wrote it down like as it happened. I don't normally take notes on games, but I just sat there watching it going, what just happened? It was super fast. It was from open play. it kind of took the other team by surprise in a way, right? And we definitely have shaky moments in defense, and it seems to be not just one player. And I don't know what's going on with that. I know that we had Miko was out, I think, injured. So it was a little bit of a different. I don't think we've had the same back four in any game or consistently over the preseason and the past few games. So it's like, okay, but what's going on, right? Like there's something going on where there's these little mental slips, and it's once or twice a game for 30 seconds, and other teams are taking advantage of that. Thankfully, they didn't in this game. Grealish looks so unselfish. He had I just watching, and I'm sure, and I've seen other Everton fans sort of echo this thought and say this. How did we sign him? And I know he's alone. I know he's on loan, but wow, I shouldn't be shocked. I know Everton has such a history. I know that we have the capability of doing better and finishing higher in the leagues. But let's be realistic. We have had bad form for several years. We have had money problems, which means getting players in. I'm also shocked that we now have 8 signings over the summer, including loans. I didn't think, and the newest one is like 40-something million. I'm like, where did we get this money from? I know we sold the women's team from Friedkin Group to like another, from like Everton Holdings or whatever it is, whatever the holding company is that they set up to owners. They sold it from them to like one of their other things. So like that was, I think, 60 million. So I'm wondering if that's part of it. I don't know. I should probably look into that, because I'm like, where are we getting all this money from? On the subject of the new signing, I don't know if I had spoken about Grealish. I am genuinely like, wow, he chose us. Pickford apparently called him every day for a month, trying to tell him like, no, you need to come here. You need to come here. If that is what made it happen, I'm grateful for it. But his play, it's like he looks up for a millisecond and glances around and sees 10 options to do. It's like you can see it, that there's this gif of this woman with like all these mathematical things, and we use that. My team and I, we like to talk in GIF. We use that all the time, right? And it's like you can see his brain doing that. And I'm like, I feel like we've missed to the extent that it seems he has that gift. And he could have taken shots on goal multiple times. He was in good positions, and he knew someone was going to be over there and passed it. It's so unselfish. It's so giving. It's just like, I want us to win, and they have a better chance of, I have a chance at goal, but they have a better one. It's like it's calculating the odds in his brain. I'm like, excited to see where that goes. I'm really excited to see how he and Miko on that left side. I mean, we all know how Baines and Pinar, they together, they were, I would say, better than the sum of their parts. We know that Pinar left us for a little while and never had that same success he had as when he was with Baines, and they knew each other and they trust each other and they just worked well. And I kind of think that if we give them the option, the time, I think that Miko and Grealish could have something very, very similar on that left side. Now, the newest signing, Tyler Dibling. I don't know much or anything about him. I know he's young. I know he cost 40-something million. And he's on the right side, I think. Now I'm questioning myself. He has to be on the right side. I don't think he's a midfielder. And then I don't know if I had talked about Dewsbury Hall. I don't know enough about either of them really have a formulated opinion yet. But 8 signings in multiple different areas. I think we did get 2 goalkeepers, but okay. We lost 13. We still have maybe a couple days till the end of the transfer window. It'll be nice to see if we get a couple more in. The second goal from the first game at Hill Dickinson, I didn't mention that, did I? Our second game of the season. That was also from open play. And all I wrote was great build-up play. And 2 goals from open play. Who are we? Who is this team? What is going on? The scenes from the stadium, just amazing. Anyone who attended Blues, y'all were amazing. The stadium is fantastic, but seeing just that sea of blue filling the stadium it's something to behold, and I am very excited to get over there, hopefully sometime this season, and experience it for myself. It does look, when I was at the game at Soldier Field, their stands are really they're not steep, they're very almost flat. And it was kind of hard to see over some of the people who sat in front of you. So I do know, I'm not a fan of heights, but I do know that the more steep seating format of Hill Dickinson, it looks like it doesn't matter where you're going to sit, you're going to be able to see. We couldn't see basically the corner and some of the goal from where I was sitting behind. I was to the side of the goal. Behind the goal, but the section on the side at Soldier Field, and that's not fun, because then when they get close, you kind of have to stand up. Everyone stands up, but then that defeats the purpose, because then everyone who was in front of you is now still in front of you, right? So the stadium looks amazing. The pictures of Everton Way, all of the stones. I don't have one. The one I wanted, there were 2 square ones that I was interested in. And every time I went to get them, they got sold out so fast. And then I didn't want the small one because I didn't know what I'd put on it. And then some of the other designs, I was like, I didn't really know. So then I kept hoping that more would come out of that design. And I don't understand why, if it's the square block, you were limited to only so many of each design, right? If we all wanted the exact same design, we should have been allowed to purchase the exact same design. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it, but I didn't. I don't need to prove my fandom. This is just my personal thing. I think they're very amazing and they're cool and they're so meaningful for so many people. To me, it would only be for me to do it, right? For my feelings to buy one. And to me, they're not as important. So I like going to the games. I like experiencing. I like connecting with other fans. That's where I find the most joy. But yeah, kind of sucks a little bit not having got the one I wanted and then not really decide. I couldn't decide between the other designs. I was like, if I don't love it, I'm not buying that. I'm not spending that much money on something I don't love, right? I will not do that. Today, we had the Carabo Cup, and it was Mansfield Town. It's Mansfield something. I was in a meeting during the first half. The second half, I wasn't really able to watch it very well, but I was able to listen as I was working. I was a little shocked that we didn't get a goal in the first half, that it did take us a while. I saw the 2 goals. Alcaraz, his was a shot. Beto, happy for him to get one. Happy we've moved on to the next round. It did say who we're playing, and I've forgotten again, because as I say, it's not important to me. Most games who we're playing. I just want us to win. This is a stronger start to the season with a lot of positives. Knowing that, I mean, Grealish arrived days before our game with Leeds, right? So he's been here maybe 2 weeks. Knowing that there is still time for him and the other new signings to really get to know each other, and the squad that was here last year. Is it wrong to feel excited? Like we could challenge pretty quickly for higher spaces in the league. Oh, Everton. They've got my hopes up. And we all know what happens when they do that. Let me know your thoughts on our transfers, on the games, on where has your prediction for the season changed now that we've had a couple of games and we've seen some of the new signings and how they're working and playing together. Where do you think we'll end at the end of the season? Do you think we'll be in the top half of the table? Do you think we'll be between 11 and 15? Knocking on wood, we're not lower than 15th. Definitely fingers crossed and hoping, and we've got a long way to go. 36 more games and various cup competition games. The squad could do something. If you made it this far, thank you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe. I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Be kind to yourself.